Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Triple Chalice Tarot Presents The Elementary of Tarot. I am your host, Rowan Nix, here with my two co-hosts, the lovely Aluna Odette.
Good evening, everyone.
And the wise Taruk Vishal.
Good evening, everyone.
And we have a very special show tonight because we're going to be talking about my favorite card of the major arcana, the Star card. And I love this card because it is aligned with my star sign, Aquarius, and it represents hope and faith and all those other good things that drives us forward. Now, the representation of the Star card is generally a nude woman with two urns of water, both of which she is pouring into a wellspring or a river of some kind against a green grassy backdrop, and there's a star above her head or above her crown chakra aligning her as she's looking down into the waters. So I think we're going to start with Aluna tonight. Aluna, what do you see when you get this card upright in the spread?
Definitely going into, like you said, a renewal of hope, spirituality, faith being restored. This card is coming right after the dramatic and turbulent scene of the tower, okay? And remember we talked about last week, the tower was the destruction of a foundation or something or belief system that you held so concretely, and it was destroyed by the universe. So you didn't have the light of the tower, of the torches or the grand halls or the lanterns to light your sky and bring its own illumination to the surrounding darkness, with the tower being destroyed. So now you're in the midst of the darkness, and yet you can still look up at the night sky and see a glimmer of hope and connectedness with the stars and the very essence of our ancestry and what we come from. You know, we are actually made up of this. So it's the star also throughout every religion, faith, sect or mystical understanding, it is a sign of hope. It is a sign of renewal or symbol of hope. It's a symbol of renewal and spirituality and power oftentimes. So that's what I'm seeing with this card.
Beautifully stated, and I like how you tied in with the Tower card, which is a very key point understanding the nature of the next three cards as well. Taruk, what do you see when you get this card upright in the spread?
When I look at the Star card, to me, it's a card about having hope, faith in yourself. You know, you're the star. You are the center of attention. In my deck, the African-American deck, it's a woman in the nude standing at the top of a mountain, and she has her hands stretched out to the universe. You know, for you to be in the nude, you have to have a lot of confidence, you know, standing in a mountain, you know, you're at the top. You are the star. You are the main focal point, and you have to know that. You have to know that you are the center of the universe, you know, and you have to have that confidence in yourself and believe in yourself, you know. So the Star card, I see it as an elevation of self-confidence and believing in yourself. You know, you may have had harder times in the past where things did not go your way, but the Star card, you know, it's a card about renewal, a card about reliving and re-knowing how great you are and how amazing you are, and that you are definitely a star, you know. So yeah, and also with the chakras, with you know, the stars in the background, realigning those chakras and rebalancing yourself, you know, and cleansing yourself, because when you are thinking negative or you are in that tower position, that was you know, kind of like a tsunami going through your chakras, just dirtying and just a mess. So you have to, you know, re-cleanse and just put pure waters through there and just cleanse and reactivate and rejuvenate yourself. So that's what I see with the Star.
Definitely, and I like that you brought up the position, because for the ceremonial magicians in the audience, this is what's known as star position, or the middle pillar ritual, and it's about aligning yourself with the higher forces of the universe and creating your own spiritual center, your own spiritual temple, if you will. My favorite depiction of the star card is actually from my first deck, which is the Mythic Tarot, and it was from the story of Pandora, who was considered the most perfect woman in the world, but she was given an insatiable curiosity and a box that she could never open. So what does she do? But she opens the box, and in the box was all the evils that are now in the world, the greed, lust, envy, all the ills of society. And at the bottom of the box was hope. And when Pandora saw hope, she realized that she would never be alone. Even amidst all the darkness that we have in the world, there is always hope. There is always faith, like the star, guiding us on. So I think we're ready to talk about the negative aspects of this card. Taruk, do you want to start us off on that?
Okay, so the star card in the negative or the reversal aspect is about your star being dim, you not having the belief in yourself, you not having the inspiration and the motivation to move forward in relationships, in your employment, in things that you want to do in life. You're at a slump. You are just in a dark place, you know. So definitely this card is about, you know, when you get the star card in reverse, it's about remembering who you are, remembering that light, remembering that star, remembering how shiny, how bright you're supposed to shine, you know, and illuminate. And it's okay for you to shine. It's okay for you to be a star. Don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to be yourself. Don't be afraid to express yourself, you know. That's why we're alive. That's why we're here on this earth, to be an expression. We are all an individual star. We are all an individual presence in this world, in this universe, you know. Like they say that there is, for every cell in our body, there's a star in this galaxy, you know. We're all meant to be here. We're all meant to live this experience, so just remember that and let that star shine. So that's what I see with the reverse.
For sure. And you totally were just giving Mufasa from The Lion King.
Yeah.
And you were like, remember who you are. That was totally what I heard when you said that. Luna, what do you see in the negative aspects of this?
Well, in the negative aspect, I'm definitely feeling some blockages. Like Taruk brought up with the upright position, the 7 stars in the background are representing our 7 chakra focal points, and those energies in reverse just being really mundane, you know. I think this card will point towards somebody who has a lack of faith, has a lack of really, and when I say a lack of faith, I almost even want to say a stubbornness towards opening up to that belief system. You know, there are some people that they're just so logical. They need constant facts. They need even if a miracle were to fall out before them, they would try to bring some rationality to it or some logic to it or some sort of scientific equation. But that's not how the laws of our universe work. There are many things that, because we are just but dust and children, basically infants, crawling through this space of existence right now, which is so fleeting, you know, there's a lot of reverence and great respect that goes to the great stars out there in the galaxy and the planets that gravitational influence has pulled us together and given each and every one of us our personality traits and our core values and belief systems. So like Taruk was very much touching on about being yourself and not being afraid to open that aspect of yourself up. Meditation, yoga, doing things like guided meditation, listening to therapeutic music. These things will bring the light body back into the right frequency range, a very stable frequency range, so that things aren't overbearing, you know, and you don't have a lack of control over your life, you know. It's definitely what I'm seeing in reversal of this card, just some blockages for sure.
Very much so, very much so. And it's very easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and get embittered by, you know, all the ills of society and forget that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are connected with the sacredness of the universe, etc. I think we're ready to move on to the moon card. So in the card of the moon, we see a crescent moon over an ocean with 2 standing stones or towers on either side, and there are 2 dogs baying at the moon with a lobster or some kind of crustacean crawling out between them. And in every tarot deck I've ever had, it's always depicted differently. I think in my first tarot deck, it was the goddess Hecate. In the second one, it was the new moon and the Piscean symbol in the center. Some people, like Aluna was telling me earlier, equate this with the sign of Cancer, because Cancer is ruled by the moon in astrology. So some people equate this with Cancer, some people equate this with Pisces because of the meaning of the moon, which is the surreal, the dreamy aspects of it, the whole unknown, and this is sort of a twin card to the High Priestess, which happens in the beginning of the tarot, and this also represents the esoteric or the hidden. I think we're going to start with Taruk on this one. Taruk, what do you get when you get this upright in a spread?
Well, the moon card, like you said, it's about the dream world. It's about the subconscious, the shadow self. It's about not having control. It is about that dream world when it begins, because when you look at the card and that scorpion or crustacean coming out, that represents the beginning or the primordial state of us as sentient beings, So it's just that beginning into getting into that dream realm where there isn't control, where your instincts are wild and free, where if you're being chased, you're going to run. If you're being attacked, you're going to be afraid. It's not having that control over what is going on and that being translated into real life where you start projecting negative things into your life, like thinking the worst or that bad things are going to happen and you can't do this or you can't do that, just focusing on negative aspects and creating illusions and deceptions, that are not real, basically. So the moon card is about that realm, and then the mountains in the background is the unknown, it's that dark, moonlit dream where you're in a lost forest and it's just your instincts. I can feel it, I can just feel this card. I can see it. It is a darker path, a much darker path. So that's what I see.
Definitely, and you took us there. You invoked that imagery. Aluna, what do you get when you see this card in the spread?
Upright, I think this card, I feel this card definitely talks about the subconscious, the dream world. A lot of times the emotions that we repress, the tendencies that we tend to repress. I often like to use this example when I'm explaining this to a client or someone. I refer to the moon's light is an illusion in and of itself because it's not the moon itself that is shining, but it is the reflection of the sun's light that casts the light of the moon onto the world. So that in and of itself, the moon's light that's coming down upon the world is an illusion. So it casts that dreamy sort of phantasmic world and glow onto anything. And a lot of emotions can be invoked in this dream world. Often it could be very lulling and sweet and fanciful, or it can be fearful because of the shadows and what moves and rustles in the trees and us not having the light and the clarity to see and truly grasp and understand what these shadows mean. So this is definitely a card that talks about psychic intuition, though. It's a card that reminds us to oftentimes perform introspection, meditation, reflection, of really getting down to the core of even living out your truth, because even in our moon astrological placement, a lot of people know their sun signs. Oh, my sun is this. My sun sign is in Leo or Aquarius, and we often don't really, we can be so different from another sun sign that, we share the same month or same day even, because our moon sign is what really pioneers the core aspect of our personality. It really pioneers our motives and what goes on beneath the surface. Okay, and that's definitely reflected in the moon card as well. So that's what I see.
Very much so. And I like that you brought up your feelings in regards to this, because this card definitely rules over emotions. This is the emotion card. And in the negative aspects, this is all about chaos. This is all about upheaval. This is a very Piscean, all over the place, frantic, nervous, unstable kinetic energy that's just unbridled. You have to remember that the moon rules the tides. The moon is responsible for the shifts in nature and the seasons in such a way. Without the moon, we would all be flooded and everything would be in chaos, which is reflected in the card by the two dogs. And I also like, Aluna, that you brought up that the moon's light is an illusion, because if you look at the Rider-Waite depiction of this card, it is a crescent moon, and it looks like there is a sun behind the moon.
Sun,
so it's even a reminder there, yeah, exactly, of where the light comes from. Taruk, why don't you talk about the negative aspects of this card when you get it in the spread?
Well, the reversal of the moon card, it's a reversal to me, but I don't see it as a negative. The moon card in reverse, it's about you finally realizing your deceptions and realizing, that you've been fooling yourself, that you have been creating false realities, that you have been imposing this self-imposed fear on yourself, and finally realizing this is what I have been doing. I'm ready to break from this and move on and do shadow working, facing those fears, working through those dreams, working through those situations, and learning from it and rising from that, and begin moving forward and do things that you were fearful of doing because of, what the moon card was in the upright position. So in reversal, this is about path working. It's about working on yourself, about overcoming these fears, overcoming these illusions. So that's what I see with the reversal.
Very true. Aluna, what do you see in the reversal of this card?
Well, definitely shattering the illusion, going off of what Taruk said. I definitely see this card as in you becoming your own sort of cosmic warrior. You're owning that playing field. You're no longer, how sometimes you have dreams and, it's just like you're in the midst of the dream and something is happening and you have no choice, but you can't even think about, well, is this real or not? Is this a dream or not? You're just running for your life, jumping for your life, or just frantic in that situation that you don't even have the time to realize this is an illusion, this is a dream, this is a dream world that I'm in. So in this card showing up as reversal, this is showing you finally starting to be grounded, you finally coming out of the anxiety and the worry and the depression and the shadows and the fantasies of your own mind. This can be definitely dealing with other people. Oftentimes we build up this sort of fanciful idea of a partner or this person that we haven't met, and then, that's ruling us or governing us, and we don't know how to break that. So that's coming away from that. That's situations, not seeing the truth or reality of a situation that's harmful or not beneficial to us. So it's just about breaking and shattering that illusionary world that you put yourself in to ignore the truth. The ostrich has finally taken his head out of the sand. So that's what I see with the reversal.
Very true with that illumination. I think we're ready to move on to the sun card, which is the third and final card of the night. And it is usually depicted, at least in the Rider-Waite deck, of an infant of some kind, either riding a horse or in the center of the sun card, and it's usually a white horse with a red fabric going up around it, with a wall behind it and sunflowers growing out in the sun in the background. And the astrological association for this card is for Leo, and this rules over all the, blessings and positivity in our lives. This is about removing obstacles, setting a course towards where your bliss is in life, and it's really all about that hedonistic joy in life. So I'm going to turn this over to Miss Leo herself, Aluna Odette.
Well, this is definitely a positive card, no matter what the outlook is, unless it's coming up in reverse. But this card talks about vitality. It talks about courage, all positive associations of the human emotion that stems from our gut, okay, the solar plexus. So we're seeing a very courageous, very warm, very vital force. This is promising good health and good tidings. This is also promising clarity to whatever situation that you're in, whereas the moon, we're in this shadow realm where we don't know if that's actually a tree or a monster. With the sun, everything is illuminated. Nothing is hidden in the dark. All things are clear, and there's a bit of closure brought to situations like that, because even if it's good or bad, whether the reading or is giving something more serious or more lighthearted, the sun card can be that uplifting sort of like, okay, there's light at the end of the tunnel. There is some sort of hope within this. There is some sort of growth or lesson for you to learn, and it's going to evolve you as a person. Our soul's inclination is to glow. It's to shine brilliantly and manifest itself brilliantly in whatever form we choose to do so walking upon this earth. So the sun is definitely a reflection of that and a reminder of that. And it also takes us back to the innocence of the child, the naivety of exploration, the naivety of the child and their want for exploration, their want for creativity, their want for just having that bond and that sort of optimistic relationship with nature and within themselves. It's that inner child. So that's definitely what I see with the card.
Very much so. Taruk, what do you see when you get this card, Miss Brad?
I mean, Aluna basically, gave.
She slayed it.
She basically slayed it. So, I mean, I guess I could reiterate that, the sun card is about abundance, wealth, positivity. It is about movement, vibrations, about getting out there and doing it, moving forward. It's about the universe basically opening up everything for you. Everything is a go. Everything is yes. Everything is positive. The family is good. The money is good. There's just no end. It is illumination everywhere. There is no darkness. There are no shadows. You are in complete and utter warmth and just growth. It is like a summer in the Caribbean, and you're just laying with no worries with your drink and your lover, and you're good. That's what I feel like the sun card is just the ultimate abundance and happiness.
Do you want to talk about the reversal aspects as well?
Well, the reversal aspect of the sun card, to me, has to do with not feeling your best. This is a card about you feeling low and you basically stuck in a negative position, that you don't really believe in yourself. But it's only going to last a while. This isn't something that is going to be persistent, especially if you're getting a reading and you get the reversal of the sun. So basically it's telling you that, you need to just focus on the positive aspects, that the sun is there still shining. Even though it's reversed, it's still there. You just need to open yourself up to the universe and allow these blessings to come. There is good luck there. If you just open yourself up and you're able to receive this energy from the universe, it's going to come to you. This is basically your wake-up sign when you receive this card in reverse. Hello, you have blessings on your way. What are you doing? You're just being depressed for no damn reason. If you actually get the hell out of your house and start something, the universe is going to just unfold and just give you everything right then and there. Like just give birth to 20 plants in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like just that type of abundance, just to that's what it is. So I think the reversal is a wake-up call to somebody who is not feeling their best or who is in a negative situation mentally, to wake them up and to let them realize that, look, there is positivity coming your way if you just align yourself with this. There's good luck coming. So that's what I see.
For sure. Aluna, what do you see with the negative aspects of this card?
Well, I'm going to go off of the vitality that I spoke of earlier and just like the health in general, and I'm seeing very much a depletion of energy, the energy portals being very low or inactive, sheltering yourself, hiding your life, your light, hiding your truth. It's like Taruk was saying, just staying in the house all the time, being depressed all the time. You're not even allowing yourself to go out and explore and feel the sun's warmth. So in return, where we are the micro of the macro, It's like saying
Mm-hmm.
the shadow is being cast upon your sun as well, and you're shading out, you're blocking out or confining your own inner light, and it's dimming. It's dimming, and it's causing you health problems too, because this card, where it's talking about the child and the vitality of youth. In reversal, we're seeing that vitality is not there. It's not represented, and it's sort of pointing at a weakness, a feebleness, or being feeble or not really at your best health-wise. Is definitely what I see in the reversal. So.
For sure. I also want to reiterate that the sun card in the negative aspect can also be a blinding, because remember, the sun blinds just as much as it reveals. The sun is responsible for mirages in the desert, for instance. The sun can cause sickness. The sun can burn. So there are some negative aspects to having that illumination, having that light, having that all-giving source, is that sometimes it makes you sick, it makes you gluttonous. We get too much of it, and it blinds us, or it fuels that hedonistic element, and we lose track of ourselves. So it's definitely one of those cases of all that glitters not being gold. So it's about keeping your sight set on the goal, for sure.
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, I think that's all that we have for tonight. Do you both want to add anything?
No.
This was a wonderful show. I think we did a really good job, and it's very cool to reach the near end of this. Next week for our Saturday show, we're going to be doing the Judgment and the World cards, so our last two.
Our last show
for the minor and major arcana and studying this. So just thank you if you've been with us all this time, if you've been keeping up and tuning into our show, all the support that we receive on our social media sites, Twitter, everything. So, we just want to say thank you. This was really, really cool.
And please listen to our archives. We have archives. We have volumes on top of volumes of information there for you guys. So please listen to them archives, okay, because they are there for the rest of eternity for you.